Grayscale owns a lot of Lumens through the Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust, and Grayscale is in deep financial trouble. If they have to liquidate their positions, how much damage will be done to XLM? And I've got to show you one of the most pointless, worthless people out there in the crypto space. Let's call out the losers and start learning. Went with the blue lights today to change it up. Bitcoin sitting at 16,622, ETH 1207. Solana a bounce up from the floor, but remember Solana was battered more than most because of FTX. They're up 16% in the last 24 hours. XLM, the highlight of today's video, is sitting at 7.3, and remember 7 cents is a crucial area that we need to look out for. But first, let's get to one of the most useless people in the crypto space. It's XRP Queen. Yep, that's right. She's got a tweet that says, January 30th, XRP rocket. Are you stupid? Well, I mean, actually, she is. All she is a pair of magumbos without having the marbles up there. Yep, everyone. These stupid tweets like this do nothing for the community. In fact, Gary Gensler would say, you're really defining securities quite nicely, because all she's doing is tweeting stupid things with expectations of higher price without putting any work into it. People like this need to leave, and the comments are saying exactly that. So no, there's not going to be anything juicy happening for XRP. She's just trying to harvest interactions with her tweets. Remember, a pair of tatas doesn't compare to having this up here. But first, let's talk about the market's positive start may come to an abrupt end. All right, this is all going to be about Grayscale and what happens with CPI data on January 12th. I got you back with January 12th because we're going to do a live stream regarding that. I already talked about it in other videos. If you hit the subscribe button, you won't miss it. We'll be covering it. But anyways, Grayscale, all right? Grayscale has the Stellar Lumens XLM Trust, and I've got a list of all of the premiums. Sorry, I don't mean this is just hard to watch, but I have a list of all the premiums, how far down their trust is compared to native asset value. Look at this, everyone. We see lots and lots of red, and when companies are in lots of red, trading's valued down. Institutional money does not want these Grayscale products. Part of it is you have to pay premiums for this. The other part is some of these have holding periods. For in fact, their Grayscale trust for Bitcoin, you have to hold it for 6 months before you sell. Could you imagine if you were buying Bitcoin 6 months ago through their trust and you're like, yo, I got to wait 6 months. Do you know how much you would be down right now? See, that's the whole thing. The actual native asset out there is so much better than these trusts because it allows you to get in and get out with all these crazy fees and without being locked up time-wise. But let's talk specifically about Grayscale's Stellar Lumens Trust. All right, so I've got the price of Stellar up on the screen right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually compare the two with Grayscale's Stellar Lumens Trust. So let's put GXLM in here. Here it is. We're going to make that blue so it's easy to see, contrasted to the red. Let's zoom it out for the 6-month time period. And what you're going to see is that the actual Grayscale trust is performing well below the native asset, down 87% in this time frame compared to 74% of XLM. Compared to the value here that they have in, it is 22% down. All right, so let's get into a little bit of math, and if you got questions, just put them in the comments below. I'll help you out because this is going to get a little deep. All right, so if you know my good friend Edgar, and for those of you out there that like to debunk all the FUD, remember when everyone's always talking about like SEC filings? Did you know that the SEC has their own search engine? It's called Edgar. You could put in anything you want, and I put in XLM, and boom, look what popped up. Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust. It even has their CIK number. They have all the filings for the trust, so if you go into individual filings, you can read all of this juicy goodness. So that I don't bore you all to death, I'll tell you right now that Grayscale put down that they own approximately 0.5 percentage point of XLM's total amount in circulation. They have to disclose all this with their risks and so forth in these filings. That's why things that are filed with the SEC aren't so bad, because we get better insight into it. So I did some math for you. I took the total amount of lumens that are circulating right now, 26 billion and change of them, multiplied that by 0.5%, and then multiplied it by the price, so you could see that there is about $9.6 million worth of XLM owned by their trust. Now, mind you, this number changes as they appropriate up and down to match what their thresholds are. Now, that being said, you want to apply that now to their total trading volume. In the last 24 hours, their trading volume was $43 million. So when we look at this, when we look at the 9.6 million divided by 43,547,190, I'm doing it with you live here, we come up that they would constitute 20% of one day's trading volume. So if Grayscale keeps running into more and more issues, and honestly, this is not going to stop, all right? I already did the story earlier about Genesis, crypto hot potato. People just do not want to get into these trust products. The premiums are bad and the time lockout is horrible as well. When you could just buy the native asset itself and sell it if you don't want to deal with the pain anymore. But the holders in these trusts, they have time commitments that they have to deal with, along with points that they have to pay, which is totally crazy, everyone. People are preferring to go with the native asset. So think about that. 20% of one day's volume is owned by Grayscale Stellar Lumens Trust. So from a pure mathematical standpoint, the amount that they own really wouldn't put much harm into the price in terms of direct selling pressure, right? If they had to liquidate it in order to keep things going. The issue I see here, though, would be the broader reach of perception of a failed product of XLM. That would take the price down even further. In fact, if Grayscale had to liquidate anything, it doesn't matter if it's their Stellar Trust, their Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever products they have, if they had to liquidate or get out of any of those positions, right, because they're just losing too much money through those product offerings, that would have a bigger effect than the direct liquidation of the trust associated with Stellar Lumens XLM. So if you start hearing FUD out there about how Grayscale can destroy Stellar, they really can't destroy it by directly selling what they own because they really don't own too much. But what would destroy the price would be the lack of trust or continued lack of trust now put into the market with yet another crypto big out there failing. Speaking of failing, what about those people out there that pump XRP? Yes, January 30th. Get out of here. All you are is a pair of tatas. And seriously, once those start sagging like the price of crypto, you're going to be worthless. Thank you very much for watching this video. Until more news breaks, I've got this one right here for you. Lots of juicy crypto Web3 stuff. Thank you very much for the various levels of support, and I'll catch you cool cats later.